Okay, a couple people had a little troubles with this one, so I will make a little video for you. If you want to display three SUVs in a triangular arrangement, so we're going to make them into a little triangle, the three cars. We're going to find a platform that's circular that these three can fit inside of, and the best way to do it is a scale drawing. Not trying to do some fancy calculations, just make a picture of them and away you go. So I'm going to use 10 inches as 1 centimeter for my scale. So if the SUV was, say, 200 inches long, I'm going to draw 20 centimeters on my drawing. And so what I did was I went to Dimensions of SUV and I found this GMC Yukon. It happens to be 202 inches long and 80 inches wide. And so then I went back into Microsoft Word and I said, okay, the length is 200 inches, the width is 80 inches, my scale is 10 inches is 1 centimeter. So basically you're dividing by 10, right, to go from inches to centimeters. So inches to centimeters divided by 10. So 200 inches is 20 centimeters, 80 inches is 8 centimeters. And I just took a ruler, and now I'm going to draw a box to fit these dimensions. So I'm going to say insert, and again I would just use pen and paper if I were you. So I can insert a shape, and it's got to be 20 centimeters long. Okay, oops, I'm going to move it over a little bit. And I'm just going to zoom it down so you can see. So I'm starting on the left at 0, and I got to go until this is 20 centimeters long. 19, 20, right there. And it's got to be how much wide? 8 centimeters wide. So I'm not sure, so I'm going to take my ruler and rotate it and bring it off to the side here, and I'm going to say 8 centimeters at the top, and I'll just have to stretch this up until it goes to the 0. Okay. So now that's the size of a car. So if you were doing 3 cars, you could just take that and copy and paste it 3 times, and you can rotate them as well. But I'm going to start just with the one car. So I got my car, I'm going to keep my ruler, and I want to sit inside a circle. So I got to decide how much space do I want to move around the outside. Say I wanted to walk past them. I want at least, I don't know, how much do I need? 2 feet? 3 feet? If I said 3 feet, that's like, if I wanted 3 feet, let me grab my pen here. 3 feet. Walking space. Okay, so that would be 36 inches walking space, or 3.6 centimeters for my diagram, right? So 3 centimeters from here to here. I just want that much space all around the outside so people can walk around it. So I'm going to take a circle now and shape circle, and I'm going to draw a circle. I think with these oval ones, if you draw a circle with hold the shift key down, you can make it fit. So I'm going to draw a circle about what I think it should be. Alright, I think I'm going to take this circle and change it so that it's hollow, and I'm also going to position it so that it's if I right click on a shape, get the dog icon I call it, and put it behind so that I can see the SUV in front of it. So I'm going to put the circle around here somewhere. I think I can move this guy up a bit so I have more room. Okay. So do I have about 3 centimeters around each side? That much? I think that's a little bit big for the circle, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Now the corners where I'm worried about here, 3.6 centimeters. That's that far. Maybe it does need to be a little bit bigger. Okay. And it looks about centered. So I think I can fit that one right here. Okay, it's fitting all right. And then I need to say, okay, how big is that circle? Well, I'm going to take my ruler, and the easiest thing to measure on a circle is the diameter, not the radius, because it's hard to find the center of your circle. So I'm going to measure the diameter, and it's going from there. I guess I need a second ruler, so I'm going to copy and paste that guy. Copy, paste. Okay, and I'm going to get this guy, wrap it in front. So again, this is kind of silly using in front of text, using a what do you call it, using a computer to do it. It's much easier if you just did it using send back. Okay, so I take the first ruler. Is it going to come on top for me? No. Just pause for a second to get this to line up here. So there's 20 centimeters, okay, plus I move this ruler back up again. I put the 0 basically on the 20, and to get across the other side for the diameter, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 28 centimeters across is what we're looking at. All right, so now I'm going to go back and do some more work. So I need 28 centimeters. diameter. I could draw that on my diagram. From there to there, 28 centimeters. Okay, so don't do any calculations until you go back into inches and feet, because it just makes life a little bit easier. Okay, especially if you're going to do an area, you can't convert areas very easily. They don't just multiply by 10 like they did in the length, because they're doing an area length by width. It actually be multiplying by 100. But let's make life easier. So 28 centimeters is how many inches? Okay, well, that's 280 inches. Right? So we're doing our scale. 10 inches equals 1 centimeter. So now I know how big the diameter is, and then I'm going to take a new page and I'm going to say, let's give some room. The diameter is 280 inches. So now I need to find the area of platform. And we know the area of the platform is pi times the radius squared. Wait a minute, I don't have the radius. So if the diameter is 280, the radius must be 140 inches. Is that okay? And if you want, we can change that into feet. So the radius, because it probably makes more sense, because we can understand feet a bit better. So 140 divided by how many inches are in a foot? 12. So 140 divided by 12 is 11.66667 feet. So we can say it's 11.667 feet. Okay, 1 foot equals 12 inches. That's how I did it. And if you want, we could say 2 1/3 foot or whatever. 11 2/3 foot is close enough. Okay, let's say it's 11.7 feet. I could change that in, said that 0.667 feet is times 12 inches a foot is 8 inches, so it's really 11 foot 8 inches. However, that's not easy to calculate with, so I'm going to say 11.7 feet approximately. So that's the radius. So the area is going to be pi times 11.7 feet squared equals pi times 11.7 squared, 430 feet squared. Okay. So we're looking at about a 430 square foot platform for this one SUV. Okay, so I mean, I didn't write it up very prettily. I was just kind of working through these in my rough notes, and then I would write it up nicely. And my assumptions were that I wanted about 3 feet to go across, etc. And that's about the size of my platform. Now, if you're going to do 3 of them, and you want to arrange them in a triangle, it's up to you. But I would probably arrange them something like this. Well, here's my 3 SUVs in a triangle formation, right? And then we need to draw a circle around them. So again, you know the dimensions on mine happen to be 20 centimeters by 8 centimeters, right? And you start arranging them around, and you want to decide how big the gap you are so people can walk through, and then you're going to measure the diameter. Okay, and then from the diameter you know the radius, and then you can find the area of the circular platform that's going to fit this. And it's easier to draw it on a big piece of paper with a ruler, and away you go. Okay, if you needed to do it smaller, you could actually take that ruler from the last one and shrink it if you wanted to be a scale drawing from before as well. So you can actually take that, even though that's not a real 20 centimeters, you can actually shrink your ruler if you needed to fit it in and call it 20 centimeters, but it's a shrunken 20 centimeters. It still makes the same idea. But make your changes before you go to area. So because if you tried to take an area and make the conversion afterwards, it would not work. Alright, it just doesn't work. And I can talk to you about it later, but for now it just doesn't work. Alright, thanks.